we've got some fucking shit to talk about today. KIT, Kumite, Tennessee. This is a traditionally fighting game event, usually a lot of Street Fighter. We've got Dead or Alive. We go back to what? This is 2017. We see Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, UMVC, King of Fighters, Pokken, so on and so forth. This is traditionally a fighting game event that happens in Middle Tennessee. A lot of higher end and even mid to higher end fighting game players come out for. And if you know the fighting game scene, it's very different from the Smash scene in that it doesn't have nearly as high a local attendance or like regional attendance as Smash does. So KIT is a pretty big deal for like the Southeast. Middle Tennessee fighting game players, Alabama, Kentucky, so on and so forth can come in, and this is like the event for them in this area that's close by, that's accessible, that they can really access. It's largely a fighting game event though, and historically Smash has just kind of been happy to tag along. It's just been like, well, we have the space, we have the equipment, and we have the support to run this at our events. All the resources are there, let's let them participate. And it's similar to how Combo Breaker, I think, introduces Smash Ultimate into its schedule, is that it's just like, we're here, you guys can come along if you would like. Looking at these featured games, 2 little layers of Smash. I'm curious. I'm going to look at the attendees. So we got 145 attendees out of 508, and this ratio is about the same with all of the events as you continue. So 2017, 500 players, 2018, 462, 2019, 500, last year, 571, and now we get to this weekend, 467. There was just the least little bit of discourse that happened regarding the event. Rewind to Wednesday of last week, and we see this tweet. Is there a pop bonus for Smash at KIT? All I'm seeing is just a Bowser trophy and underwhelming attendance for what's supposed to be Tennessee's biggest Smash tournament. The more I find out about KIT, the more I'm convinced it's a fucking scam. Refund while you can. The organizers for Kumite in Tennessee have a shit ton of explaining to do. No additional prize money. Attendee list is akin to a Phaser Craze weekly plus a bit of travel. 3-day event. With no advertising, hiding the attendees list, and no communication, and they prioritize FGC events, despite knowing that Ult was their biggest audience, yet barely any FGC players are going. Sorry for all the quote retweets, spam, and begging, but please spread the word about what's going on so that more people don't pay $60+ for Reg for an experience that is a tenth of what they signed up for. Another player, a different player from the one who originally makes these tweets, says, solid option, may do so myself. This is pathetic, no information whatsoever. 3-day event for a little over 100 people. I have to take off work for doubles on Friday at 4. For some reason, it's 3 days OG. So we'll stop here for now. So all these tweets happen, and there's a ton of discourse about it. There's a lot of very angry discussion in several discords and chats talking about how KIT is a scam. Why are we going? Let's refund now and spread the word and get other people to refund as well. Offbeat, who is the Smash tournament organizer for this event, I get an at everyone in the Middle Tennessee Discord at like midnight or 1 or something like that, saying, join, we're going to clear this up now. I'm pretty confused because I haven't really kept up with any of this at the time, but I joined the call and Offbeat sounds like he's on the fucking verge of tears, saying that, and the person who made these tweets joins the call. There's like a 25 people all of a sudden in this Discord call. But Offbeat's trying to explain that, hey, no, there's no pot bonus. We're lucky that the event is even happening right now. Ian, the KIT head TO, has almost gone bankrupt over this whole situation. That KIT, frankly, shouldn't even be happening this year because there's no money currently. Offbeat is also in a similar situation where there's no money to be had. Frankly, we are lucky that this event is even happening. In the call, the person in question who made these tweets is like, oh, yeah, hey, I understand. We can talk about it. Let's work out something, so on and so forth. When that made it very clear to me that whoever this person is, they didn't do a lot of investigating or discussion with Offbeat or any of the TOs prior to the event. That they're just kind of witch hunting because this doesn't conform to their concept of what a Smash event should be. This same person then goes and says, On a later tweet, one of the guys says, to anyone going to KIT, please comment on this and let me know if you're planning to go or not. I have to decide ASAP. Top 32 is best of 5. 120 current entrants, 3-day event. I'm not trying to drag the event through the mud. I would just like to know who plans on refunding. I most likely am refunding. Then the person who makes all of the original tweets says, side note, please comment if you would donate to a crowdfunded prize pool for SSBU. And also replies, update, questions are being answered, hold off on things for a bit. So effectively, they call on this witch hunt, get ready to just crucify Offbeat, and they're like, oh, wait, no, now that we've actually discussed this, maybe we should hold off on it, when the damage at this point has already been done. As I wake up the next morning and I find out that KIT Smash Ultimate suddenly has a pop bonus. As it turns out, they took the money, the TOs took the money from the side events that were going on and pooled it into the Smash Ultimate pop bonus. Needless to say, I was pissed because these side events are just as valid as Smash. So they took a pot from a fighting game event and then gave it to Smash because people were whining about it. Yeah, the TOs are basically threatened with the fact that they're going to have to give out $65 worth of venue fees back out to players when they're already almost broke in the first place. Like, this money had likely already changed hands to the venue by this point. So when you're threatened like that, what else can you do but try and pull a pop bonus out of your ass like they did? I can't say that I blame them. And also, let me clarify, it's not just these two people with this sentiment. There are so many people trying to witch hunt that were trying to witch hunt this event. I do want to do full disclosure. I don't think that Offbeat or Ian, like any of the KIT staff, I don't think they're necessarily at fault for how it got out of hand. I want to go ahead and just start addressing some of the points that are in these tweets. So in addition, they prioritized FGC events despite knowing that Ultimate was their biggest audience, yet barely any FGC players are going. So I don't know if you know this, if Smash players who don't have a lot of crossplay into the fighting game scene, this isn't necessarily any fault of their own. Fighting game events are smaller. They're more technical. There just isn't as big of an audience as there is for Smash, and that's just how it is. A lot of fighting game events, you know, their locals are 10 to 12 people at most. The regionals are 80 to 90 people at most, and then they have multiple games, and then there's a lot of crossplay in between those games, and that's where you get the bulk of your attendees in each event. To say that there's barely any FGC players going, for an FGC event, this is very good. These are reasonable numbers, and they have been for years. Look, our attendance for this weekend is literally comparable to every year in the past 5 years. There are FGC players going, you just don't have any perspective. But on top of this, they say they prioritized FGC events. Now, I'm gonna clue you in on something, and I'm just gonna hope you can use your God-given literacy and eyes to really understand this. How far can I zoom in? This is really annoying. Can you go away? So you're telling me that they prioritized FGC events at an FGC tourney? Holy shit, that's crazy. That's insane. I'm actually blown back that Smash Ultimate wasn't the priority at an event that is historically fighting game events. I don't understand how you can look at this event page, at any of these event pages, and be like, yes, this is a Smash-driven event. That doesn't make any sense. And I think it's kind of clear that the people that are witch hunting this, not just the one person who made the tweets, but they historically don't know what KIT is and what the lay of it is at all. Now, are there valid complaints about KIT? Yeah, absolutely. I think there are valid complaints about every tourney. But I think you also have to keep in mind that a lot of these problems are an effect of it being a fighting game event. So, yes, it's a 3-day event. To cover this many fighting games, they have to make this a 3-day event. Yeah, you could run this all in a day, easily. But they chose not to. Fine, it's okay. That's how it has always been. KIT has almost always had a top 8 that is on the Sunday after. Even when Pug West and Anti and Wrath were showing up, this was a top 8 on Sunday event. It was a 2 to 3 day event because it's a fighting game event. That's how these usually are. Other valid complaints is the registration fee. Yeah, it's expensive as hell. But you know what? This is the par for the course in fighting game events where they have a fuck ton of different games that they're offering. Smash is the only game that isn't going to have crossover over here. Yeah, Music City Multicon. There's literally, you're getting registration for a whole ass convention going on. Not just this event, for 3 whole days. So this is 3 days of friendlies, of events, spectator experience that you're paying for. Look at the floor plan. Hold on, let me, wait, where is the floor plan? Do you have a link to it, or is it on here? Jesus Christ. Oh, we're dead ass in the middle of this thing. Holy cow. People think that you're paying $65 for this, when in reality, you're paying $65 for this. Yeah, I'm gonna make a really clear illustration for you guys here. The last other thing that, like, just from a TO perspective that I can see, like, is a valid complaint, but it's not necessarily Offbeat or Ian's, like, fault, is hiding the attendees list. Because I don't think that this attendees list was published until, like, 2 weeks ago at the most. And the thing is, like, yeah, that's abnormal for Smash, but again, that's something that's pretty standard at fighting games. If I go to CEO 2021, yeah, they don't have an attendees list shown yet. Do I know the purpose? Not really. I don't understand why they do it, but I know this is a thing. And what Frosty Faustings? Hold on. Yeah, registration's live, and there's still no attendees list. This is just a fighting game thing. That's just how these events are. So, Smash are yet again playing about another fighting game. And also, all of these things that I've listed have been the same for literally 5 years, since 2017. This is exactly what you expect. And so it's pretty clear that all these people that are complaining have never been to a KIT in their life, nor done any research on the event, nor have they talked to any of the TOs involved about what's going on. So what do you expect at that point? You also just hear about the fact that these guys are trying to witch hunt a bunch of TOs that are frankly on the verge of bankruptcy. Like, these guys are in a bad spot. And so they're threatening these mass refunds. And that's just like, imagine the panic of being a TO in that situation. It's just awful. One other thing that I think it's really funny is that these guys are complaining about the pop bonus, and I don't think it's a top 8 payout event. So let's look, hold on, at the top 8 sheets. I'm going to circle them so people can see. These are the only people, plus or minus up to the 12th or so seed, that have a chance of earning this money. Why do you care? Why do you care about the pop bonus? Because you O2ers aren't going to see a dime of this at all. So you've taken from a fighting game event and given that money then to Smash players, which are top level, don't really give a shit about this. I've talked about this with Murph and Sean and Kip, and they're all like, wah. Wasn't even about the money for me, is how people said there's talent going, now all of a sudden it's a stacked event. Yeah, no, that's something else I really I want to look at. Attendees list akin to a Phaser Craze weekly plus a little bit of travel. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Phaser Craze has like 60 attendees usually, right? And KIT at the time had like 110 to 120 players or something like that, which is like pretty fucking good for that kind of event. Not even close, actually. How much does Phaser Craze usually get? Like 30? Anyway, so these guys are comparing 140, now a 140-man event to their weekly, which isn't accurate. That's not a one-to-one comparison. I don't know if you can do the math, but like, that's just not right. This is still like a Middle Tennessee. This is still a Tennessee regional. Yeah, people are mad about no one showing up. But all the relevant Tennessee players, I think, are going to this event. Every single one of them. And it's not like Memphis and East Tennessee actually see any crossplay, or like the Middle Tennessee people see crossplay with East Tennessee, but they're finally getting it with this event when it's basically the only Middle Tennessee regional that happens, right? What else we got? Oh, yeah, and then another point's about people not getting mad about no one showing up. It's worth noting that SyphaCon 2021 is this weekend. SyphaCon is a Louisiana event. I believe it's happening in a convention, so the Louisiana TOs don't actually have any real say in when the event happens, but it's happening the same weekend as this event and has a $2,000 pop bonus, which yoinked pretty much all of the Georgia talent that was considering going, that's just how it happens. And unfortunately, this is the second time that Louisiana has done this, the first being Ecolution. So they've already got a bit of a track record with this, unfortunately. Not to call out those guys, because I think it's a little out of their control. And also, like, if you look at these numbers, 467 people, this is literally bigger than the 28. Not only is it bigger than the 2018 event, we're still coming out of a post-COVID era where people are still it's reasonable for people to be timid in this environment about attending regional level events. And then the thing is, none of these, like, why would the fighting game TOs have to worry about Smash events being on the same day? They don't, because it's not a Smash event, it's a fighting game event. Yeah, one of the last points I really want to make is, like, Sean was like, can you imagine if someone tried to do this to you? And I'm thinking about it. No. First of all, Alabama would bully the fuck out of them, hopefully. Second of all, frankly, if someone like that isn't coming to my event, that's no loss on me, frankly. Because I don't want a person like that attending my event. They're not the people that I run the event for in the first place. Because I don't do it for the money. No TO does it for the money. We found that out last week, too. Funny, because before all this, KIT had the same numbers of entries as last year. No, I was scrolling through all of them. The numbers are comparable to every KIT in the last 5 years. It's just, it sucks so much that this discourse happened and that these O2ers or O2er mentality people stirred up all of this shit on Twitter. And then all of these out-of-staters are looking at this and are just like, what the fuck's going on? Like, all of this shit going on Twitter and venting about it and being whiny about it is how outsiders view your scene from then on. My impression of Tennessee, if I didn't already know a ton of the people here, would be soured because I'm seeing all of this discourse on Twitter. All these people witch hunting their almost bankrupt TOs. This whole situation just makes me really angry because, like, now that I have a stake in both Smash and the fighting game communities, it makes me mad to see Smashers being whiny resulting in a hit to the fighting game community. Because frankly, if I'm a fighting game TO and something like this happens to me, where the Smash community is just ungrateful for an event that I'm running, I don't want to run Smash anymore. I have zero desire. The money that I get from them isn't worth it anymore. I don't want to include Smash at my events at this point. I just would rather work with fighting games. Anyway, this was not meant to be a discussion like trashing the Tennessee scene for all the shit that's happened, because there's a huge amount of you guys that were reasonable about this whole thing, that have discussed with your TOs and understand where they're coming from. I can't imagine being this ungrateful for an event at all. It's wild to me. Oh my fucking god, did I have this happen? Oh my fucking god, did I have a double chat box this entire time? God damn it. It's gonna look so bad on YouTube. Fuck. I wonder if I can re-record it. God damn it. Oh well. Whatever. I'll just put a fucking disclaimer at the beginning of the video saying I'm a dumbass. People will believe that.